All right, let's get going again here in Factory Town. Let's pick up where we left off in the last episode. If I look here, right now we're only producing cloth and it's being held up on the inputs coming in. And I think we've got four or five people bringing this cotton up and it's just taking a long time. Let's see those victory conditions one more time. I know we have to produce, I see. Okay. Cloth conveyor belts. Those are going to take some of that cloth that we're making now. The cheese, oddly enough, also uses cloth. So that's going to consume one cloth to make the cheese, and the cheese will be for the sandwiches. So let's see. We got our happiness up to 23. Is there anything we can do to get that happiness up to 40 or averaging 40? If we go back to the general store, okay, now we're selling the bricks, we're selling the planks. Well, I could sell some of that cloth. Let's see. And that would get us some happiness. So let's see here where we're at with cloth. I've got 103 cloth in my storage, in my base rather. So let's sell some of that. I'm going to drop down another worker. We'll use a wagon. Worker, wagon, boom. And here I'm going to go into my base and say grab cloth and sell it. And you're going to see these wagons are going to start colliding with each other, and let's see what that does to our happiness. Okay, it looks like it's starting to climb up 30. Okay, we just got another production bonus. So the mill, okay, is hovering between 120 and 130 speed because we're right on the edge. Let's see, we're right on the edge of getting up to 30. Let's see what our happiness is showing as here. All right, looks like planks has dropped down and wood. And so planks, we're not supplying enough planks to get the maximum happiness, and we're not supplying enough stone bricks to get the happiness. So let's just see why. If we look at our inventory, I can see that I've exhausted all of my stone bricks pretty quick. It's the mason that produces those, and he is just waiting on inventory. He's just waiting on more stone. So I've got 3 workers left. So let's have a worker here harvest some more stone. And he'll just put that on the chute. So that's going to get us a few more bricks. And then for planks, let's see. We've got 2 guys working. It looks like we could use some more wood. And then we can produce planks a little bit faster. Yeah, the planks are waiting on wood coming in. So I've got 2 more workers. Let's drop 1 at least and have that worker collect some more wood and bring it to the lumber mill so we can get some more planks. Now our happiness level is climbing up past 30, so that's gonna help. That speed bonus will help all of our production buildings. So the grain mill here is now going at 130%, so that'll produce some more flour. We've got a wagon delivering the flour to the food market, and that wagon can keep up. I don't have a lot of stone bricks, so if I look at the general store here again, and we take a look at the happiness, let's see. Yeah, we're just not supplying enough of these things to maximize that happiness benefit. And if we look at the cloth, I've already exhausted it. Oh, we're collecting a lot of red coins. So all that cloth that we're selling, we're getting red coins. Yeah, so let's see. What do we got next? Let's take a look at the school and see how we're doing on our research. We've got 58 out of 100. And we're just waiting for the paper to be delivered. Our workshop is producing cloth. That cloth, we're selling all of that cloth pretty much. And we've got a lot of bread. Now for happiness, I could sell bread, but the bread, that's going to get us 12 yellow coins. We've got tons of yellow coins here. But the flour is not meeting the needs of all these people. That seems odd, but I guess we do have a lot more houses now. So let's see. I've got one worker left I can hire. I've got all the houses built I can build. I could use more workers. They're not going to let me upgrade the base, it looks like, on this map. So it looks like it's locked down. Normally I would be able to upgrade this space, but if I look down here at the bottom right, they've got that locked out. So I'm stuck with the workers I've got. Let's see. We're waiting on the animal pasture. We still got about 36 more research to go on that. We're making a bunch of bread. If I look at this wagon delivering flour, he's got some extra capacity. Why don't I I'm going to throw another worker in the grain mill here. And that should speed up our flour production. The other thing I can do is sell some of the bread, because we're not really using it yet for our sandwiches. I hate to use up a worker to do that. Let's see how adding that worker to the mill did. All right, so now we're just while we're waiting for that research to complete for the animal pasture. Got 30 left, just about. Just trying to optimize the limited workers I've got. So we've got 38 workers. They're all hired. I can see that this grain production is backing up. So I probably don't need 3 workers here. So I'm going to take one of them off. And that's still going to be able to just keep up just fine. And what I might do is add another worker here to the flour. I can either add a worker here, produce more flour, and then our wagon that's delivering flour will be able to move more product. Where is our wagon that's delivering flour? Is he way over here? We've got 10 ready. Just looking now. I'm looking for our wagon that is supposed to be delivering flour. There he is. I must have clicked on him. So here, I'm going to have him grab flour and drop it off at the market. And let's see if we can get that happiness up to 30. We'll get a nice production bonus. So here he goes. He's got 4. Whoops. I keep clicking on him. Every time you click on these guys, you risk reassigning them somewhere. I keep doing that with that wagon. All right, let's see. Here we go. Okay, we're back to 100% happiness from our grains. And that's all the flour that's being delivered by our wagon here. And if I look at the output, it's almost keeping up, but not quite. So he's only taking 3 this time. Our farm is still backing up. So I got potentially another worker I could take off of that farm. And let's look at our paper. Look at our papers backing up. So it might make sense to use the one worker we have left to add another wagon to deliver this paper, because that's really holding up everything. We've got a lot more research to do. I think we got to research at least one more, right? We need forestry and we need logistics. So let's use that worker I freed up and drop another wagon down and have this guy deliver paper to the school. Kind of a long haul. That's why it's taking a long time. But the lumber mill, if we look, he's got extra paper in inventory waiting to be delivered. So that may speed things up a little bit. Our happiness is down to 22. We're going to need to get that to 40. So we're going to have to juggle some resources around to make that happen. We're still not able to keep all these people happy with our grains. But I have some ideas for that later. All right, let's see. 87, 88. Almost there on the animal pasture. And we're going to have to free up workers to work in the animal pasture. So we're going to have to stop somebody here. I notice a worker standing here. What has he got? He has a plank in his hand. So maybe I must have clicked on him by accident. So let's have him take planks. Actually, let's delete him because we're going to need another worker here. Let me just see if I'm selling planks at the general store, if that was the worker that was delivering them. Yeah, that was the worker that was delivering our planks. Let's just see where I can get some more workers. Paper is still backing up. All right, let's see. We're almost there on the animal pasture, and I think I have some ideas here on how we might juggle our workers around and still get up to 40 happiness. Because we got to drop a pasture down, 2 pastures down, so that's going to take up 2 workers, and we're still going to need to deliver more products to the food market and the general store in order to get our happiness up to 40. I think we're going to focus on the happiness later. All right, good. Here we go. We've got the animal pasture research done. So let's go to the school and queue up what's next. Speed bonus 160 on that. All right. Let's do logistics first. That's going to unlock the cloth conveyor belts, and we need those as a victory condition. And so we need to produce those. So unlocking that's going to help. The forestry is also a victory condition, but we don't really need to build a forester or a tree planter and stuff, but we'll do it. But we're not really going to use any of the products produced there. We're getting plenty of wood. So let's do basic logistics first. Looks like that's going to be our first research that we're doing that takes the red coins. We've got tons, 1,109 red coins. That's from selling our planks and our bricks, our stone bricks. So we're in good shape there. 2 paper, same as before. So in 5 seconds, it's going to take a little bit longer for each one of those research to complete. We need to do 100 again. So let's click basic research, get that going. We can see down here, 1 out of 100. Here we go, 2 out of 100. So while that's churning, we unlock the pasture. The pasture is going to get us the milk for our cheese, for the sandwich, and then we need another pasture for the chicken, and then we need to cook that chicken at the kitchen too. So let's build the first pasture, and since we were talking about the chicken most, let's do the chicken first. All right, pasture. Let's see, where can I drop this guy? It looks like I'm just thinking through roads. This doesn't need to be in range of the markets. Just the houses really are the only things that need to be in range of the markets. So when you drop any kind of food market, general market, and there's some other stores that also we're going to end up building, we just need to make sure that the houses and those stores are within range. All these other production buildings we can put wherever we want, wherever it's convenient. So this pasture is going to be milk, and I'm guessing we're going to need water. I wonder if I can, let's just try and put it, we can always move this later. I'm going to drop this pasture right here where there are some water tiles within the range, and in the hopes that we won't have to build a well and use up another worker. Let's drop the pasture there. It consumed our last worker automatically. And let's see if we can make the milk, or I'm sorry, the chicken, I said. All right, raw chicken. Uh-oh. Looks like we need animal feed and water. Animal feed. Okay. And animal feed is produced at the grain mill. The grain mill's nearby, so that shouldn't be a big deal. Okay, animal feed and water. We're getting the water automatically. Yellow coins and 5 seconds of time. So let's have this guy get going on that. If we click on the pasture and I look at the input, I'm looking at the inputs to the pasture now. I was expecting that the water was going to automatically populate back like it did um, in that first tutorial when we dropped the lumber mill by the water. It was automatically taking in that inventory. The pasture, it looks like it's not going to automatically take in the water. So that's going to take a worker. And I think I can collect it right from that water source. So to do that, for the time being, let's stop selling our cloth because we're going to need that later for the cheese. And then I'd like to kind of bank some of that up. And when we're going for our 40 happiness goal, we can pull a bunch of cloth out of inventory all at one time and try and hit that 40 mark to satisfy it. But we'll leave that to the last. But for right now, selling the cloth is just getting us red coins, and we've got tons. So if I look here, here's the wagon that is carrying the cloth and selling it. I'm going to reassign this guy. Actually, for the time being, I'm going to delete it just to free up a worker. And then I'm going to supply the pasture here with water. And I've got to do it. Unfortunately, I got to do it with a worker. So let's have him. I just hover. I click on the worker and I hover over this little lake here. And he will collect water and deliver it to the pasture. Now, if I click on the pasture, I should see water coming in. All right. The other thing I need is animal feed that's produced at the grain mill. So let's go to the grain mill. Grain mill is producing flour right now, and that's getting us our yellow coins. And that flour, I think, is also going to the kitchen, and we're making some bread. Let's click on recipe, and now we've got animal feed here too that we can produce. I think that may have been unlocked when we researched the pasture. So let's go ahead and click animal feed. And so now they'll split time and actually produce animal feed out of some of that grain. And now I need a worker to take the animal feed to my pasture. And I'm all out of workers, but I can see this is kind of backed up. So I've got some surplus work here. I'm going to drop my farm down to one worker just so I can free up a worker. And with that worker I freed up, let's drop him down here. Could use a cart, but I don't think well, why don't we? Let me click that guy and delete him. The wagons you can use when you're transporting things from building to building. And the workers, the little manual worker guys, whenever you're collecting a raw resource, you need to use one of those. So for this case, we're just going to deliver animal feed to the pasture. So I'm going to use a wagon. I've got plenty of wagon wheels. It only cost me one worker to do it. So I guess when in doubt, I would lean towards the wagons. And down the road, there's other ways to transport things too. So we already saw the We saw the chutes, which work. And let's just see. I don't know that I can do a chute from this. Boy, if I could do a chute, then I wouldn't need to use a worker. Let's just see if this material, the animal feed, will move down a chute. It looks like we're heading downhill. So I'm going to select chute here from the hotbar and come on down. You can see that there's arrows around the building showing the direction of the product. So right now it's saying, hey, your outputs are only going to be where this little arrow is that is coming out from out of the building. So what I can do is take the building, or I can go into the move tool here. So I'll go to tools, move tool. I'm going to select the building. I'm going to rotate it. Doop, doop. So that arrow, that output arrow, is heading towards the pasture. And I will just click here to do that. Okay, now let's see if I can get the chute, build some chutes, and let's see if it actually will take the product. Look at that. Okay, we've got a couple issues here. So what's going to happen is if I make a chute coming out of here, right now this grain mill is producing 2 items, flour and animal feed. So it will send flour and animal feed down to the pasture. Well, the pasture only takes animal feed, so this is going to end up backing up. The chute will back up because it's going to have flour on the chute as well as the animal feed. So the way around that is using a logistics block. And I can say, hey, only output this particular product that I select. In this case, it would be the animal feed. Now, for this particular campaign, I don't know if we've got the logistics blocks available. So let's take a look on the build menu. And if I go logistics blocks and I go grabber. So grabber will pull the specified items out of a building onto a belt or a chute. So right now, this is locked. What will unlock it is if I research basic logistics. So let's go see what we're researching. I think that's exactly what we're researching right now. So if I click here on the school, yep, we're researching basic logistics, and we're only 10 research away from having that. So let's wait till this research is complete, and that's going to allow me to save a worker by using a chute to send the animal feed down to the pasture, and then I can get the milk. I still have to use this worker for the water, which is kind of a bummer. I'll show you here as soon as we get this research done. Almost there. We can, it's like 2 more trips, 2 more wagons to deliver paper. Here we go, and boom. That should do it. That should get us 2, I think. Yep. Here we go. All right. Oh, and it shows us. There we go. That grabber is just what we need here. Okay, so new structure unlocked 1 way, and this restricts and organizes movement. So I think you can put this on a road, and it will limit the traffic on that road to the direction that you put the arrows, this little arrow guy. We've got a barrier gate, can block path movement. I've not used that. Grabber I've used extensively, and we're going to use it. The new structure unlocked is the cloth conveyor belt. And the new recipe unlocked is cloth conveyor belt. I'm not sure what the difference is here between structure and recipe, but basically we need to produce these. And that research unlocked it for us. And then we have fluid pipes too. I can show you how that works, and maybe that'll save us a worker over here where we're doing the paper production. So, okay, cool. I did not know that was going to unlock for us. All right, conveyor belts are critical tools for automating your town. Place them on a building's front tile. So that's that one with the arrow that we just saw at the mill. And resources will automatically be output on them and carried away. You can also directly feed resources into any other side or level of a building from a belt. All right, cool. So we're going to produce those at some point. Let's get the research going on the last thing, which is the... it just unlocked the research for the pipe, so I can't use the pipe yet. Should we do it or not? Let's do forestry first, since that's pretty a hard requirement for victory on this map. So we'll get that going, and then maybe we'll come back and do the fluid pipe if we need to free up workers. Let's wrap this one up here and we'll continue on in the next episode. I'll see you there.